Greetings.
Everyone.
2025.
Well, welcome back to a new year, a new episode.
We've made it.
I hope you enjoyed yourself and you got everything that Santa you put on your list for Santa. I hope you got everything.
Gout,
Yeah,
chest pains,
larger size trousers.
the need for new clothes. You've not really completed Christmas unless you're suspecting that you may have a bit of gout in the foot. The Henry VIII curse, the rich man's diet.
Yeah.
Rich man's
Yes.
diet. Yes.
AA membership as
There's
well.
one of our friends out there who suffers from that every now and again. He knows who he is.
Well, I've got a friend actually who once came back after the Christmas period, and he was famed for going deep.
Going deep.
Yeah,
Really?
Adele wrote a song about him rolling in the deep.
Oh, right.
He came back and he thought he'd damaged his foot playing football.
Right.
Thought he broke it. Turns out it was gout. Wasn't it, Dan? It was gout, wasn't it? You mess of a man.
Rich man's ailment. Actually, though, I'd like to give a little shout out to that friend of ours with a bad foot because he's been suffering all Christmas because he's had some procedure done on his foot. So he's had a bit of a, not the best Christmas he could have had. So
A dry one.
hope you get well. I don't think he's had a dry one. Certainly don't think he's had a dry one.
You never know.
No.
Yeah,
So
we
get
don't.
well soon, friend.
Specific shout out there.
Oh, he knows.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
always watches.
He knows.
He knows.
Right, so what do we know leading into this new year?
It was, I tell you what, Jules Holland, what do you think to Jules Holland? It used to be good, didn't it? I suppose that gives it away what I'm thinking. I don't think it's been very good for about 4 years now.
No, damn.
I watched them for a while.
No.
I mean, I was in bed for 10 this year, but I didn't. I saw clips. I've seen clips of the Jules Holland only because CMAT was on it.
She was. Yes, she was.
And there's now a bit of a whirlwind around CMAT. People like who
Yeah.
haven't discovered her
I
discovering her.
forgot she were, yeah.
And she did a cover of something. I can't remember what she did, but
She was quite,
oh, I can't live if living this without you or something. I think she did that.
I can't really remember what she did, to be honest with you. But she's very, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but she was very,
Quirky.
yeah, she's quirky, but it's all performance, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very much performance.
She got like diamonds on her teeth. They're like
Yeah.
fake diamonds. Like
She's
stuck on.
rolling around up floor and
Yeah.
she's doing things and
But she's a good singer.
but it's all a performance and yeah, she's quite interesting to watch.
I think she's going to get huge.
You think so?
And I'm going to bask in the glory of being backstage last year, 2024. Asked to go backstage
Yes, she did.
and watched them from the side.
Yeah.
So I was glad that she was on the Jules Holland show, but I haven't seen the Jules Holland show.
Yeah, well, I should watch it for that because, yeah. The problem with Jules Holland show is, I don't think it's the right show to put new artists on. The one,
What, do you mean the Christmas one or in general?
yeah, the people want to have a sing-along. It used to be like an established band that were on there and you get the classic hits and you could all have a sing-along to the stuff that we're doing. But you've got 3 bands on there that were doing original material that nobody knew.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. The Christmas one needs to be something that people know. And do you know what I think would make it more exciting? Every now and again, I'm not saying every year because it's not fair, but do it live.
Yeah, why do it in September?
Yeah, well, apparently they do it like a month before.
Yeah,
but
it's like November time into it.
it makes you feel a bit more part of the audience because what's annoying as well is when you see the audience and they're smug buggers.
Oh, they are.
Well, it's same audience for the last 5,
It's
6
all
years.
the mates and stuff like that. And It's
Yeah.
just, But if it was live, it make you feel a bit more part of it rather than watching a
Well,
pre-recorded
they don't want
show.
to be there, do they?
Well,
They don't want to be there on Christmas, New Year's Eve.
I get it,
Eve,
but like
no.
every now and again.
Yeah, well, if it's a week before, maybe that'd be more realistic.
Yeah.
But you've got all his chums are there. It's...
Let me guess. Vic Reeves?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, Jim Muir,
Jim Muir?
as he's known. Jim Muir there. Yeah, they're all there. I can't remember. You just go blank because, not him again. Oh, not him again.
Yeah.
Oh, not her again. You got 1 or 2 odd little bits and pieces that you didn't expect, like Roger Taylor from Queen singing, getting up and singing.
Ew.
Well, he can sing.
Well,
He's a good singer.
there's no
As
Freddie,
well as
is
a
there?
drummer. Sorry?
There's no Freddie.
He's no Freddie, but he's a good singer.
Yeah.
But he did a Little Richard number and he did another one, and it's like a novelty act.
Yeah.
Is it a time and place for a novelty act?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying they should have Tom Jones on every year. I'm not saying they should have
Gregory Porter.
Gregory Porter on every year, as much as I like Gregory Porter, as much as I like Tom Jones. You know, it's just people need to have a sing along, and if it's really original material that you don't know, well, what's the point?
Yeah. I also don't like the new surroundings, what they do in the Alexander Palace that they're
Yeah,
doing.
yeah.
I don't like this like pit that they're in, like a gladiator pit.
Yeah.
I'm not into that because the audience seems a bit distant from the actual. I don't know how this one was shot, but
they're all sat on tables, all these chums,
yeah,
and they're well lit.
right.
And then you've got this tiered seating area behind that, where you've got all these people that aren't well lit, but
Peasants.
you can just see little
Peasants.
bits-
Scrubbers and
Yeah, and you can just see bits of arms moving about, and things like that, trying to be excited.
Liverpudlians
Is
and
it like-
people like
There's
that.
not that many of them, but
Is it like Home Alone with a
yeah, it could be.
cardboard cutouts just moving?
People using it with strings. Yeah, I think it needs a revamp. I think that's basically what I'm saying. It needs a revamp, Jules. Come on, it's a great show. Let's get it
Back.
back to what it was.
There was also another contender. Apparently, there was a Sophie Ellis Bextor. Apparently, somebody joked that it was like a 3-hour long thing, but she played a couple of her songs twice, and
Yeah.
that was like a bit much. I think someone's trying to come up with like a new alternative to Jules Holland, but apparently it hasn't worked. But
Doing 2 numbers.
Why did she do?
because she did
Same
such a
numbers
long
twice.
stint of like this show,
What
Don't you
problem-
know what she's done and what she hasn't?
I don't know.
I'm not a big fan anyway.
I know.
She slightly annoys me.
Well, you've cancelled her from coming on the show twice, so
Yeah. No, she slightly annoys me.
yeah.
I just don't get it.
I ain't got time for her.
No, I really don't get it.
Well, that's fine.
There's a lot of people it's all personal taste, isn't it? And it's just not mine.
That's fine.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to be polite.
I can tell.
You just waited for me not to be. And then you can say, oh, no, he's done it. He said it.
So, did you watch the Jules Holland show?
I did, yes.
And what would you give it out of 10?
4.
Oh,
Yeah, I'd give it a 4. They got one of the sisters on from Sister Sledge. So she was doing Sister Sledge songs. And yeah.
No.
Boomtown Rats were on. We Are Bob.
I mean, why?
God, I
I
bet
mean,
that was good.
Boomtown. If Bob Geldof hadn't have done anything with Live Aid, nobody would be talking about Boomtown
Nobody
Rats.
would know him.
No, we won't.
I don't know how he's earned any money since 1978.
Because he did Live Aid.
Well, he didn't get any money from that. We're not going to suggest that he did.
Well, a lot of money didn't go to Africa. We'll know that.
It's a Bob.
Yeah, and it just happens that he's, main,
He's got that I
into
don't like
the-
Mondays.
into the main account holder.
He's got that I don't like Mondays, and that's going to end up on every playlist that you can think of. So that's where he earns his money.
Tell me why.
I don't like Mondays.
Hey.
What songs? Mary the Fourth Form. Don't like Mondays.
Rat Trap.
Rat Trap.
Rat Trap.
And
I think that was it, wasn't it? 3?
was Banana Republic an album or a single?
I'm not sure. What's that one? New Sensation?
News, yes. New Sensation.
No, New Sensation.
Yeah, yeah.
Suicide Blonde?
Suicide Blonde, so that's 5. All right.
Suicide. Need You Tonight?
He's a bit of a boomy, isn't he?
No, what I'm doing is, for those keen listeners out there, I'm actually listing In Excess songs
Oh, right.
because of the awkwardness of his,
Oh, goodness of his...
well, Michael Hutchinson
Oh, right, yeah.
and the Geldof. He's loving it.
I'm going along with that, because you sounded so familiar.
Yeah, because they are familiar, but they're just, there is a link there, but it's a dovetail and it's not a happy one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They did sound like them. So, all right, they were back to 3, maybe 4 tracks. Nothing after 78.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, do they know it's Christmas?
that was Slade.
Like Band-Aid one.
Oh, all right, but that don't count.
But that one is. What Boomtown Rats, wasn't it?
Oh, no.
Don't count. It's
He just took the money from it.
There must be like die-hard boom fans.
they're called boomers.
Boomers.
I don't know. There must be. Every band's got them.
They might be called rats.
The Rats.
Yeah, every band's got them.
Maybe they're still
I'm a
playing.
ratty.
Maybe they're still touring.
They probably are, and they're probably playing to
What? To what?
1,800 people.
School halls.
I mean, if Electric Six, do you remember Electric Six from the noughties? They had like one hit, the gay bar. I want to take you to a gay bar.
I remember that line.
Oh, they had another one. It's like High Voltage. Well, they still tour now. They still do the
what,
O2
were just
Academy.
2 songs?
Well, they've got albums out, and people have got a diehard fan. They always sell out.
Yeah.
They're one of these like bands that did 2 songs, huge, and then they've sustained a career out of it.
Yes, there's a lot of bands like that.
Load
isn't
of
there?
crap.
Ocean Colour Scene.
Yeah,
They're still
going.
touring.
Yeah.
They're still touring. Shed
Reef.
7.
Reef.
Reef is still touring.
Iron Maiden.
Ronnie Wood's son plays for Reef.
Does he really?
Yeah, he's not the original guitarist who replaced him, but he's now playing for Reef.
Talking of Ronnie. Next weekend, by the way, it's Rod Stewart's birthday, 10th of January. Send him a card. Don't put out inside it because it's got enough. Yeah, they're getting back together. Faces.
Oh.
Yeah, apparently, aren't they?
A reunion tour. Now, Rod's been chosen to be the thing at Glastonbury.
Oh, the Legends slot.
He's got the legend slot this year. But his daughter, Rod Stewart's daughter...
People aren't necessarily happy about that, are they?
Sorry?
They're not necessarily happy about that.
Oh,
That Rod's doing the Legends slot.
who's not happy?
People.
Oh, I don't know why.
Why?
Because they think, like, I don't think I don't think there's much hype around Rod as
No.
people think there might be.
Yeah, I think Rod's lost his charm slightly, hasn't he?
People are like, it's time.
Oh, shall we say?
Well,
Sorry.
we'll use this time for a nap.
Shall we say the sheen's gone off it a little bit? No, but there's talk about a reunion. So they've been in studio and they've been
New material.
rehearsing new material and putting lyrics to old material that they never finished.
Oh.
Ronnie's been in with Kenny Jones doing some stuff, doing a bit of rehearsing because Rod couldn't get in because he was out touring, doing his thing that he does.
Oh, not that he thought it was a push, but it was a pull. He couldn't get in.
He couldn't get in. Right.
There we go.
It's difficult to keep up these days. And yeah, that's been going on. Yeah, there's going to be new material. There's going to be a tour announced, allegedly. Hand with a H, a documentary.
What of the making of this new stuff?
No, of the life and times of
Faces.
All right.
old stuff, new stuff, up to date stuff with the new music, and back in the day when they were the best band in the world.
Transforming Faces.
No,
When they go, that's that flick book from when they're kids and it goes to when they're old.
yeah. But they were, because for me, they were the best band in the world.
Oh, but a great party band.
Yeah,
Booze, kicking footballs around,
yeah,
scarves.
they were great.
Pints.
Pints, scarves, and
Bacardi.
pints, scarves, and tartan.
And they're all great
The
at what they
faces.
did. They're all great at what they did. I mean, all right, Ronnie Lane, he took ill, so he had to leave, and he had issues with Rod anyway, but he had to leave. But he was a great bass player. He got a very distinctive, deep sort of bass thud, 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 thud going on. Great, loved it. Then you got Ronnie Wood. We know what Ronnie Wood's like. He might not be the best guitarist in the world, but he's the most enthusiastic.
I've always found
And I like him as a guitarist.
I've not found him so bad as a guitarist. He's got, especially in the Faces, he had this like style of like being able to play, but it sounds like there's more than one guitar player there. They're quite
I think
thick
he's really
orchestral.
good. I think he's really good. And then obviously you've got Rod's voice. Can't beat Rod's voice.
Well, used to.
So, well, back in the day. But the lad's 80 in a week's time, so, give him a bit of slack.
Yeah.
And then we got Ian McLagan on keyboards. Great. They got Tetsuya Yamauchi, who took over from Ronnie Lane on bass later on, but he only lasted a short while before the band split up anyway. He was thinking, wow, great stuff, I'm going to get into this rake party band here. It's drinks all the time and happy times, and then when he got there, they're all cleaning up.
Yeah.
So it all sort of fizzled out. And he come from Free. He took over from Andy Fraser because he left.
All right, yeah.
Because of internal problems there, drugs and whatever. Yeah. So they're touring. They're releasing new material, and there's a documentary. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, I've not heard about that. That'd be
They
good.
haven't contacted me yet.
No, they're not.
We need somebody to play a small ginger kid in Leeds.
Well, he's a bit bigger now. But he's not ginger anymore.
He's not
either.
ginger anymore either.
We might need stronger scaffolding.
They might have a clip of me climbing that scaffolding.
This is the reason we split up. This kid.
If it hadn't have been for him... No. They were a great band.
I wonder
They
if
were
they ever
really
think,
were.
I wonder what happened to that kid that what were climbing on scaffolding back in Leeds.
I bet they do. Yeah, they do. Oh, the times have thought that. Yeah. No, that'd be interesting to see that, though, because back in the day, they were a great band.
Well, speaking of Rod Stewart, Hoggle from the Labyrinth.
Looks very much like him.
Well, we've said this, yeah, but this takes me on to that apparently, because this is music related, they are putting in the works a Labyrinth sequel.
Really?
And then this sparks concern of who's going to play the Goblin King. So who could play the Goblin King?
Well, the Goblin King's dead.
Well, David Bowie, who played the Goblin King.
Yeah, so is it going to be AI Goblin King?
Don't know, or somebody just... I don't imagine they're going to try and recreate the 80s, but... Because it was in 1986 it was out.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. A complete flop. But then it became a cult classic, and
And it's been on again this Christmas.
it's huge now. But they're going to do a sequel. So then people are now just trying to figure out who could play the Goblin King. So there's people suggesting people like Jared Leto could potentially do it.
Ooh.
Jared Leto.
What's that?
Joker.
He played the Joker in not Joaquin Phoenix. He sings for 30 Seconds to Mars, and he was in Suicide Squad, the Joker.
Oh, right.
And he was in American Psycho and all sorts of other stuff.
Yeah.
He did
No.
the Dallas Cowboys thing with Matthew McConaughey, where he played a female prostitute.
What about the kid that does Deadpool? He'd make a good Goblin
Yeah, but he doesn't
King.
sing.
Does he have to sing?
Well, I mean, David Bowie did sing a lot in that film.
It did.
Did it? Oh, so
And also, they have to be able to turn it into
why didn't you do it on his albums then?
Well, who is
What do
it?
they call him?
Who?
Deadpool.
The Wrexham owner.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
go on.
God, I forgot his name.
It's like both names are similar.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. What's his name?
He'd be
Oh,
good.
my God, I
But
forgot.
he can't sing.
Oh, this AI.
But yeah, but Bowie got away. Bowie got away with it. He could sing.
Shut up.
It has to be menacing, though, right? In some sort of way.
He's an actor. Give me menacing. Play menacing. Now do the thing with a crystal ball.
But Rod Stewart could play Hoggle.
How's it go?
I could do it.
You could do it. That's it. You've just auditioned.
Do you want menacing?
Go on then.
No, I'll do it later. That was it.
So yeah, that's
Yeah, I think that's all right. So why not?
yeah.
Just
it's-
a market there for it. Well, there must be. It's all supply and demand, isn't it?
There'll be people who want to watch it through curiosity, and there'll be a new audience. I think it might be nice to have. I'm assuming that they're going to do like puppets as well. It's going to be a puppet thing.
Yeah.
And I
But
think
didn't that kill the cat?
puppet killed the cat.
No, Curiosity.
Curiosity killed the cat. Now that's a film. That cat didn't stand a chance.
No.
But it might be nice to see some sort of animatronic thing like that. So you recently had the Wallace and Gromit film, the new one.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Actually,
I didn't see it though. But you know,
there's no
I had
wrong
no
with
intention
there's no
of
wrong
watching
with
that.
that old school puppetry stuff.
no.
Because, we can have AI, you can copy anything you want, and it all becomes clever, and, that were good, how they reproduce that. But then again, after, the shine goes off that as well, doesn't it?
Well,
So, but if you've got, like, Sesame Street, like, puppets, there's always a bit of...
Well, the way that I like to look at it is comparing Jurassic Park 1 to the current ones. Right?
Yeah.
Right. So Jurassic
Yeah.
Park 1,
They haven't come on much, have they?
that was all puppeteered and like
Yeah.
machine robot things and whatever.
Yeah, I
and
thought
it
was
looked
very good.
fantastic.
And it's still relevant, really, that picture.
yeah.
isn't it, today?
But then when you look at the CGI ones, they look, you're like, oh, it's made out of a computer. There's no magic behind it. It's a
No.
computer. I mean, I know that there's a skill behind it, but there's something more. I don't know what it is, but there's something more
yeah.
magical there.
Yeah, it were actually on at that over the Christmas period.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Classic Christmas film.
So we watched it.
yeah.
And it is. We missed the first sort of quarter, but we commented about that the fact that it was so watchable because they didn't look like Godzilla, the thing walking through buildings. It was just that were really poor.
It wasn't too outrageous.
Yeah, them.
Oh, yeah.
We're none of that.
Stop motion stuff.
Yeah, well, good. And it would still pass today.
Yeah. So yeah, keep your eye out for Labyrinth 2.
Labyrinth 2. There's another documentary coming out, isn't there? We've got release.
Led Zeppelin.
Let's
Well, there's that coming out next year, and we've got Dylan coming out. That might be out this next week.
There's the Robbie Williams monkey film,
Robbie Williams one, isn't there?
which I realised that the documentary that came out earlier on last year is obviously a precursor to the film. So people who weren't aware are aware of who Robbie Williams is and the troubles he's gone through, which then coincides with the film. Apparently the film's got like rave reviews.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, he's got a new album out as well, hasn't he?
I'm not
a
sure.
new album coming out.
But
On the back of it.
it seems
Yeah.
that America's finally like picking up on Robbie Williams.
Really?
Yeah, it's like he's talk of the town at the moment.
Well, it's said that there's going to be no release date. There's tracks already done, already got down to go onto album, but there's no release date for yet because he wants to see how the biopic or the film is first, how it goes first.
I think it will pick up some awards. From what I haven't seen it, but from what I'm hearing, people are raving about it.
Yeah.
He's played by a chimpanzee, not a real one. It's like a CGI one, but apparently it's really good. Now the idea behind it is that it's self-deprecating in the fact that he says that he's less evolved because he's got all these troubles, so that's why he's been portrayed as a monkey. But the Americans are finding that difficult to get their head around because they're not very good with self-deprecating.
No.
So there's a lot of intrigue there. But apparently they're discovering Robbie Williams.
Well, he says the album will be a little bit of pop, but it will be mainly focused on an album done if he'd have left Take That now. What road he would have took.
Oh, that's awkward because he was really into hip hop. So when he left Take That, it was a photo of him at Versace launch, and he was sat next to Tupac.
Well, he's saying if he left Take That now, the new album will be around what it would be now. And what he's saying is there's massive guitars. Massive
Like as in
guitar
huge
sounds.
size guitars.
Three people having to hold them up. He says it's going to be very massive guitar sound.
Very massive.
Massive. It's the people that's already done tracks with him or Glenn Hughes, Tony Iommi, and there's a rumour, apart from the little bit of a riff, that there's a rumour that there's a track going to be done by Jimmy Page.
Well, he was a huge Oasis fan, wasn't he, when he left? Because he
Yeah.
tried to get in with them, and he was mates with Liam.
You were trying to. Well, I don't know whether they were latching onto them or they just happened to be around at that time when he was just sort of. But they were taking Mickey at him, weren't they?
Towards the end, yeah, they called him a fat dancer from Take That.
Yeah.
But,
I'm sure he got his revenge on them.
well, he outsold them at Nebworth.
There you go. Might not do it next year.
Might not do it next year. Are they doing Nebworth?
No.
That's not really.
Not confirmed yet.
Well, we mentioned this in another podcast last year.
Oh,
That what they said is the person that is in charge of bookings at Nebworth, they're not ruling. There's no definite yes, but they're not ruling out on doing Nebworth next year because next year celebrates 30 years of Oasis.
so what we're saying is
Nebworth.
definitely maybe.
Definitely, maybe, yeah. And if they
I could
don't,
smell
they'll
that
look
one.
back in anger.
Yeah.
I could smell that.
They shouldn't let that one slide away.
No, they shouldn't.
I'm not good at this, so stop. Just stop.
Come on, Dad.
Did you get your Christmas present?
What's that?
The Trump Bible.
The Trump Bible. Has he got a Trump Bible out?
It's got a Bible.
Well, I know we spoke about he's got Trump guitars.
It's got a lot of merch out at the moment.
A
'cause
Trump
It's
Bible?
got a lot of debts, £500 million debts to pay off.
I've
So
never known anyone to brand a Bible.
Well, that's you've got to remember that
Holy Jesus.
there's no depths that this man will go to sell or to earn money. And if he wants to come across as being ultra religious,
The Trump Testament.
yeah. Well, you see, you've got to bear in mind.
I
though,
shall not lose.
you've got to bear in mind though, there's no room in his world for two gods.
Well,
There's only him.
there's only him. Yeah.
There's only him. So he's selling these Bibles, $65 or $83. I don't know why there's two prices, but it's $65 or $83.
Right.
Maybe it depends which state you live in, or remember,
It's one signed.
could be by God or him.
Yeah.
So it's
One
the same
signed
thing, really.
by Jesus.
I'm sure he's gonna.
Maybe there's a picture at the back of like the divine creation, you know, like the finger pointing one. Just one's Trump.
But
Yeah.
And it's
the church has come out and made a comment about it, and I think you can adapt this comment to pretty much everything in life. Well,
Okay.
definitely to Wayne.
Classic church quotes.
Yeah, so definitely you can put this to Wayne. But they spoke about this selling of Bibles and they called it a blasphemous sticky nightmare.
Oh. I mean, that might be, to some people, might be a great review.
Yeah.
Oh, saucy.
Blasphemous sticky nightmare.
Depends how I want to take that, isn't it?
Bankrupt Christianity and a violation of the Ten Commandments. Yet again, our good friend Wayne.
Yeah.
Well, today, what's happening today?
I don't know what's happening today, Wayne.
Today will be, or it probably has already been done. So today is Saturday, people. And today was the unveiling outside the Ulster Hall in Belfast, the statue of Rory Gallagher.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
Rory.
Tribute
Do you
to
know, I think that's
rock
probably-
and blues.
20 years too late.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. It should have been done at, a lot. I mean, when did he die? 85, was it?
I don't know.
84,
To be honest with you,
85,
I don't want to guess at that one.
or at 94, 95. No, I think
Has
it
he
was
gone through a
84,
resurgence
85.
of popularity or something like that? Is that what's brought us on?
You always become popular when you die. That's a fact.
Yeah, is
Yeah.
it? I want to say it's something like, is it 30 years since he died? Or was it 50? I can't remember now what it was. But it's coming up to the celebration of
His death.
his death. And
Yes!
and
He's dead!
they're marking it with a big tribute to him for putting out a big concert thing for him with
Yeah,
various
there's quite a lot of people getting involved with this as
Bonamassa
well.
there, he's doing.
I know it will lead into that.
I wonder if Bono's going to be there.
Oh, he'll be there.
I would have thought so.
Yeah,
But
if
today,
there's a crowd, Bono will be there.
yeah,
Apparently, he is
lurking in the back somewhere
Yeah, with his hat on.
with his hat on.
He's the best drinker to go out with.
Really?
Noel Gallagher's said that I've been drinking with Bono for years. He said, and I've seen him sometimes stood on the bar singing opera about 3 o'clock in the morning while he's been James Browned out. He's been carried out with his assistants. And Bono's got a gig the next night.
Yeah.
And he said he's still going. He's still at the bar singing opera. And he's got a gig next day.
Yeah, we can all do that, but does he drink?
No, he's teetotal.
Drunk as a skunk, stood on a bar. Yeah, I get that. But he might not have had a drink.
I bet he has.
Yeah, but he has. Yeah. Yeah.
I bet he's got some stories.
Whoa, they have, haven't they?
This one story about a fly.
And that's what we like, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's them stories.
Well, you probably never hear.
We'll probably never hear best ones.
You know,
The best ones they'll never get passed on.
they usually end with, and they'll never find the body.
Don't look under the patio.
There's a lump in the patio.
Santana, he's postponed his gigs in
In
Vegas.
Yeah, he's had a fall on his finger, hasn't he?
Yeah. He was
Never
gonna do-
never run and point, kids.
Yes.
He was booked in to do 8 gigs at the House of Blues, but he's fallen over and broke his finger.
Coincidence.
Another drunk.
Well,
Stood at a bar singing opera, was he?
probably with Bono.
Falling over and breaking your finger, that seems unfortunate.
Well, it is.
It
When
is.
you're a guitarist, yeah.
It's almost as bad as losing your arm when you're a drummer and saying, I can't drum no more. Oh, wait a minute, I can.
Yeah, so what you're saying is,
Load of
Carlos
bollocks.
Santana should
Yeah.
walk it off.
Yeah, it
Should be all right.
should, you know.
Look at him, he can still drum.
Yeah,
what are
he
you
can
doing?
drum. He's only got one arm.
Well, listen.
Listen here.
I've got a story for you because I went to see some family over the Christmas period, and I was telling this story about it'll come back to a finger.
All right.
I was telling this
Don't
story.
worry for that.
I was telling the story about when I was in fifth form at school, and we had this block, and I was stood there, and this kid walked in, and he got this album under his arm, and I was mesmerised by this album, and one or two other lads who were there was as well, and because it was such a striking album,
Yeah.
and it was King Crimson, in the Court of King Crimson. It's the one that's got that pink flared nostrils with big bug eyes, and it's,
All right, yeah.
and it's very striking. And and I thought, Jesus, what is that? And it will, the album cover alone is fascinating. How good the music is irrelevant. It's a great album cover. This is King Crimson. It was 69 it were made, but this is not 69, it's a bit later. And I was saying that I'm sure it was a kid called Tony Roebuck, an old friend of mine from school, same year. And I thought, I'm sure it was Tony Roebuck. I hadn't seen Tony Roebuck for years. You know, you lose track with people, don't you? And I was telling this story, and I thought, I'm sure it was this kid called Tony Roebuck, because they had this little band at school. And I'm out with him Sunday up at a local bar, and we're talking at bar. And the next minute, other side of him, Tony Roebuck.
Holding the same album.
No,
Hard, Jeff.
are you following me with that?
Oh, that's weird.
I met Tony Roebuck. We're at the same bar.
Wow.
I hadn't seen him for years and years and years. And we got talking. I told him the story that I'd been. Oh yeah. I said, was it you? He says, yeah, it was me. I remember that. I remember walking in. I had that album. I used to take it into school.
Oh.
We're great. Today, I've been to a record fair, and the third album I picked up was what?
That album.
Crimson.
No, it was Madonna actually. No, the third album I picked up. I'm flicking. Oh, it was that album. I thought, right, I want to come back to that. I'll leave it then. I'll just have a quick.
How
look.
much was it?
I'm not telling you. I'll just have a look round and I'll see what else is there. Because something else might take me fancy. Because I'm only buying it because I like the album cover. I've heard the album. It's not something I'm going to put on every day. But I do. It's an iconic album cover. So I went and had a little meander around and I'm flicking around and what. No. I'm going to go back and get it. I couldn't find it. It's gone. It was like an omen. Someone were telling me 3 times this album's come up in the conversation. Tony Roebuck, telling my sister, Glastonbury Trade Fair, and an album record fair, and it was there. Someone were telling me to buy an album, and I just walked away. I missed out on something there. I don't know what it is. It'll probably come to me later. But
How much was it?
30 quid.
Maybe it's not complete. Maybe the chain's still something more. Maybe you will.
If that album, in some respect to my life, crops up again, then I don't know what I'm going to do. Buy the album. But it was 30 quid, which I suppose is not a bad deal.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, next time you come across a Crimson King,
Or even King Crimson.
buy the album.
Yes, with the big nostrils.
Yeah. It's not. The thing is about the album.
It's the one. Is it screaming? Isn't it?
Yeah,
The
it
face
looks
of
like it's screaming.
isn't it?
Yeah. It's so distinctive, the album cover. Yet I don't really know anybody that likes the album.
Tony Roebuck.
Tony Roebuck liked it then, but does he like it now? I don't know.
It's still got it with him
people
on
buy
Sunday.
things like how we're going to do today. People buy things because it looks great. Oh, that's just a great looking album. I just need to own that.
And you'd have spent 30 quid
I think I might have done. Yeah,
just for the cover.
yeah.
Why don't you just draw it?
Draw it. Why don't you just draw it?
Why don't I?
You like Fleetwood Mac. Why don't you draw the cover?
Yeah, just with some pencils and a.
Just
No.
try it.
There's some tracks on there that's all right. It's quite melodic and it's all right. Robert Fripp, he's a good guitarist, but it's not
Bit weird though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit weird. It's a bit
No,
heavy,
it is a
it's
bit weird.
heavy going.
Bit of strange hairdos and big eyebrows. It's all that thing going on.
What's that about?
So that's my little story about King Crimson and Tony
What?
Roebuck.
His wife keeps getting tits out on a Sunday afternoon in the kitchen. What are they doing, them two?
It's a bit weird. They're both a bit weird, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's so weird. Yeah.
He's calling people weird.
Oh, it is. It is. Well,
He is.
he is. He does talks, apparently, like lectures about creativity. I don't see much of it from him.
Yeah,
But, yeah.
he went on in 2004, I think it was. He went on the G3, you know, the guitar with Satriani.
He did
Oh,
that,
right,
did he?
yeah. He went on
He
that.
did that.
He did that. Yeah, he has guests on every year when he does it.
And he was on there.
I think it was 2003, 2004. But he had stipulations. I think it was the same year that Malmsteen were on. He had stipulations, and one of them was that he was to be, because he always sits down.
Yeah, that's one of the weird things. It wears a waistcoat and sits down.
Yeah, he always sits down on a stool.
As it's all like
chair.
a bit higher.
It's like a bit like a classical.
Yeah.
And he says that he needs to be no lights on him, and he needs to be at the back. But he'd go on, but he wants no attention, basically.
Right.
Unlike Malmsteen, who we had to have words with, because he said, well, you know, when you're playing and you've done your thing, he says, what he'd do is he'd do his thing, but he was oblivious to everybody else doing what they were doing. And so what he'd do is he'd do his thing and then start chucking his guitar about while somebody else is trying to do a solo. Steve Vai's there trying to do a solo with his eyes shut and his guitar's falling on him. It's not healthy. No. So he had to sort of have a word.
Give him a click round to your hole.
Well, I don't think he did that. But he says he put it down to the fact that he would never...
Drunk.
He was always the centre of attention on his shows. So he never knew it any other way. So when he came on and he got Satriani, Steve Vai, somebody else, and Malmsteen, he would just carry on being Malmsteen, you know. Happy days. Well, you know, happy days, he were away.
All right.
But he was just not taking any notice of anybody else that were on stage. And you got the other one, Fripp, he just wants to hide it back. Doom, doom, doodle, doom, 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 doom. Oh, that was frame by frame, by the way.
With his big eyebrows.
Sorry?
With his big eyebrows.
No, we ain't got big eyebrows. That was just makeup messing about.
You know, weirdo.
Like Sean Connery when he disguised as a man in Japan.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry? Oh, right.
Just brushed his eyebrows up, didn't he, when he was hiding out in Japan that time when he was in James Bond? Remember that?
Oh,
He wore a kimono,
Yeah.
and the only disguise he had was that he ruffled his eyebrows up.
nobody
Realised it was Sean Connery
I didn't.
with a Scottish accent
I
still.
didn't know that.
Konnichiwa. Mushy, mushy.
Stop it.
Sushi.
That's natural. I don't know. Everybody talks Sean Connery when they say sushi, though, don't they?
Sushi.
But
Shaman Shen Ro.
do you know when you actually watch him or listen to him speak?
Yeah.
It's so much that sort of what people take piss out, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Because he does speak like that.
Yes, that's a bit of a lisp.
You say it's a lisp.
There's that old joke which I've said here before. You should have seen my grandchildren's face when I asked them to shit on my lap.
Oh, yeah, silly sausage.
Shite for sure eyes.
All the good ones are out now. You're itching to say something.
Because it's first one back after Christmas,
No, you're just itching, Wayne.
I think what we should say is,
Piece of chance.
we made a mistake with the Christmas ones, didn't we? So the conversation that we had in there wanted to be out, but what we're going to say is we get like a list of 5 people who the bookies were going to bet on being Christmas number 1.
Oh, right, yeah.
I can't remember at least now without looking through my notes. But actually none of them, all the top 5, none of them what Christmas number 1.
Didn't Wham become Christmas number 1?
Wham won it again for something like 3rd year running.
Right.
But what happened
And
is...
this is all since his death. He didn't get to number 1 when he was alive.
Yeah. Well,
George.
is it Grace or Gracie Abrams? She was number one with That's So True in something like last week in November, last week in November.
No idea.
And it run all the way through to 2 weeks before Christmas as a number one. Then Wham took the Christmas number one again for 2 weeks. But then, strangely enough, the Gracie Adams one, That's So True, went back to number one. And as far as I know, today she's still number one. She's been going for something like 7 weeks now at number one.
I don't even know the song.
It I don't. But it had something like a 4 week. It had something like
I'm not really following charts at the minute.
a 4 week stint at number one. Then Wham came in, took the Christmas number one, and then she's gone back with the same song that were number one before Christmas, back to number one after Christmas.
Apparently, all the money from last Christmas, the song, just goes to charity
Really?
since it's been out.
That might be why it went to number one.
Could be then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Well,
And on that note,
Goodbye.